Now, Dr. Alexander Faizi Rawani, popularly known as Dr. Smile and LEXLEO, is not only a celebrity dentist and artist, he's also a philanthropist, and he's been giving back to the community not only during the pandemic, but started doing so almost a decade ago. And now we have an opportunity to catch up with Dr. Smile, who also recently released a brand new single called Kancane Kancane. Welcome to the show, brother man. Good to see you. You're looking good.
Kat, it's good to see you as always, and the Expresso family. Thank you very much on this cold morning in June.
Yeah, and while we are, of course, grappling with the cold, of course, COVID-19, that's the pandemic that's kind of taken over the news and the entire world. It's changed everyone's lives, and in South Africa, we're still experiencing a national lockdown to a certain degree, and our country, of course, needed to get accustomed to a different way of doing things. Everyone's lives has been touched in that way. So talk to me about your professional life and what's changed and how you're handling it.
You know, in all honesty, Katlego, like professionally, things haven't changed much for me. I've been wearing gloves and masks for the last 10 years, almost every day at the dentist. I've been speaking about health and hygiene all the time. Obviously, at our practice, we've taken levels even higher in terms of protection of our patients and comfort and personal protective equipment for all of the staff and procedures, and obviously that goes without saying to comply with law and standards. But it's one of those things with I'm kind of carrying on like I always have been with the highest standards of hygiene. I just find myself playing a more educative role for many of my patients, for my followers, for my friends, in terms of how they can practically be conscious of COVID or any communicable disease and lessen the impact in their own families, in their own homes, in their own communities.
Yeah. Now, I know that you've also been keeping busy doing voluntary-based dentistry work for vulnerable communities. I mean, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, I started something called Project Smile South Africa. And because I'm really a cosmetic dentist in nature, I knew there was a huge portion of the community that doesn't just need a filling or an extraction, but needs a smile makeover and that cannot afford it. And it's not just for those who cannot afford it, for those who truly need it. So Project Smile really assists those who have been victims of domestic violence, burn victims, victims of trauma, whatever the case, who unfortunately had something thrust upon them which was completely out of their control, and who me giving them a smile can really change their outlook on
the work that they are doing. Now, as you mentioned earlier on with Project Smiles, that you're also involved in doing youth and adult educational classes and aimed at uplifting vulnerable communities. Tell me a bit more about it, and how long have you been running it, and what's been the development in that part of the program?
All right, so I've had essentially, I run at the moment about 11 different community development classes around Johannesburg, and these are communities that are struggling in various aspects. There's either a lot of poverty, lack of education, drugs, crime, and I kind of consciously go and choose areas that people like to stay outside of you. And so I commit to these classes, and these numerous classes that I have kind of require constant participation. It's not like I go once and I disappear.
Yeah. And so let's talk about that, Kancane Kancane. Those who might have already seen the music video and heard the song would have been energized and loved it for sure. But what's the song all about? Talk to me about the lyrical content, the idea behind the music video, you know, involving the kids, going out into the community, essentially kind of showing what it is that you do in your work outside of your professional work, you know, as a dentist, but really engaging with the community. Talk to me about Kancane Kancane.
Kancane Kancane means little by little. And they came to me and they said, listen, Lex, could you create a song for us that focuses on or deals with the concept, the issue of climate change, of environmental enjoyable. Because I go, how am I going to write a song about climate change and then people actually enjoy it?
Yeah.
And so I let the idea evolve and I said, okay, not just about climate change, but about our role and our responsibility as individuals towards any world issue. So I adapted the idea to sing for it, but I was like, okay, I love dancing also, and why not give people that? So I called up my producer. My producer, Ashley Valentine, is actually from Cape Town born. And I was like, yo, I want a beat like this tempo, this sound, create something for me. So he made it and he sent it, and I recorded it here in my little home studio bedroom, and Kancane Kancane is now out. And I made this for Awake, and they have an amazing team, and so we shot a video. And I said, I want you guys to shoot the video in communities that I work in, because this is really important to show reality of what I do and what I believe in. So the video was set around one of my children's classes that I teach. That specific one is done every Saturday morning. And so I had a lesson that specific day on the importance of caring for the environment, caring for one another. So the video will take you through a little story of how we practically showed that. And the message comes across and you dance at the same time. So yeah, I hope people love it. It's just come out. It's very, very fresh.
Yeah, man, I've seen it. It looks really, really cool. I mean, the big question I have in my mind is how? How do you manage to seemingly live the life of like 25 superheroes in one human being? It's absolutely incredible, man. Well done to you. You truly are. Well, there you go. That's Dr. LEXLEO, as you might know him on the socials. Check out that song, Kancane Kancane, an inspiring beat to it and inspiring lyrics, great visuals. And of course, in doing so, you'd be supporting what the movement that is Awake is doing as well. And he himself, in his personal capacity, is making a positive change, changing the world little by little, day by day, and influencing the mindsets of